for today's virtual CP seminar, our own young member CA Mohammad Najib Sadiq, Vice Chairman and Secretary CA Suprasad sir, immediate past Chairman CA MC Jayaprakash, Treasurer CA Dinesh K. Kumar, Managing Committee Member CA Saju Sridhar, all the illustrious past Chairman of Kannur branch, my fellow members of the profession, friends, and my dear students. A very good evening to all of you. Today we are extremely delighted and happy that our own young member, CM Mohammad Najib Sadiq, is here with us with the powerful power of Excel to excite us. This time with a specific assignment to how to select a systematic sample from a huge volume tally data. He will also familiarize some other powerful Excel tools to easily prepare a bank reconciliation statement and tallying a trial balance with a huge volume tally data. I am sure that it will help us a lot in our day-to-day audit work. Dear Najib, we are extremely thankful to you for accepting our invitation. And on behalf of the Kannur branch of SARC of ICI, I extend a very warm welcome to you to this virtual CP seminar of the branch. Welcome you, Najib, and wish you all the very best. I also extend a very warm welcome to all the managing committee members, all my esteemed members in the profession, friends, and to my dear students. Welcome you all. Dear members, please remember to fill and submit the Google form, which is already shared in our WhatsApp group to get the mandatory CP credit. Dear members, please remember tomorrow, 1st July, we are celebrating the 73rd CA Day, jointly with the Kannur Chartered Accountants Association. In the morning, we will be having the flag hosting ceremony and the tree planting. The CA Day celebration will start sharp at 11 a.m. The motivational speaker and magician Sri Gobinath Mudugad will be the chief guest of the function. Central Council member CA Babu Abraham Galivailil will inaugurate the function, and the past chairman and member CA SARC CA Jomon K. George will be the guest of honor. Please share the link to your family members and to our students for joining the program and make it a grand success. You all are welcome to the program. And now I request CA Sabin Matthew to formally introduce CA Mohammad Najib to the participants. Sabin, please.
Thank you, Chairman. Respected Chairman of the Kannur branch of SARC of ICI, CA Regis sir, Vice Chairman CA Shivprasad sir, other managing committee members, speaker for the day, and a very dear friend of mine, CA Mohammad Najib Sadiq, illustrious past chairman of the branch, fellow members of the profession, my dear students, and other participants of the seminar. Today we are back for yet another exciting session on Excel by our own young member, CA Mohammad Najib Sadiq. I thank the Kannur branch for giving me this opportunity. I'm very much honored and privileged to introduce before you the energetic and charming speaker for the day and a very dear friend, CA Mohammad Najib Sadiq. Hailing from Talacheri, CA Mohammad Najib Sadiq completed his schooling from St. Joseph's HSS Talacheri and secondary education from Kadambur HSS Edakkad. CA Mohammad Najib Sadiq qualified as Chartered Accountant in November 2018 examination and is holding COP for more than 2 years. He is currently working in Varma & Varma Chartered Accountants Kannur as Assistant Manager Audit since April 2019 and has been associated with Varma & Varma since 2014. He was an active member of SICASA, Kannur branch, and he held the post of Treasurer during the year 2014-15 and Joint Secretary during the year 2015-16. An excellent dancer and singer, he also represented SICASA, Kannur for various inter-branch cultural fests. His virtual seminar on Excel, which was held last year, was well appreciated among all the members of the Kannur branch. With his very few words of introduction, I present before you Chartered Accountant Mohammad Najib Sadiq. Over you to Najib.
Please, Najib.
Good words, Andy. And thank you, Chairman, for giving me a second opportunity to have a seminar before you, all our seniors. Okay, so let me share the presentation. So you all know the Excel, which is a powerful tool which we need to use in the day by day in our audit life. We can't in a digital world, which we have a lot of financing activities which we done in the digitally. We can't able to analyze, we can't able to summarize, we can't able to form an opinion without a proper calculation, proper evidence, and all. Excel help us to have a proper calculations and reference, and thereby enabling us to have an opinion. So I'm going to cover some of the few functions which specifically our chairman has set out to be discussed with you. And I'm actually not so much a professional on Excel, but during my articleship, I had gained some of knowledge by through Googling and by practicing and trying so many functions. That experience has helped me to do some works which with a good manner. So I need to this session to be more interactive, because this is more of a practical in nature, because you need to have to ask questions even if you interrupt in between. I don't have a problem to answer. So this session should be so much interactive, so to make this session so so success. So you all know when we have drastically changed our way of work from our office culture to a remote audit, everyone has been shifted to manual accounting to this computerized accounting. Even a small enterprises have shifted their accounting to this computerized accounting. So it's actually a discussing for us to have that change of culture, because we can't able to analyze many things so easily without after shifting to manual to computer. So for to analyze the data which is actually being held in a computerized manner, this Excel is a powerful tool which help us to have proper documentation, proper sampling. Even you can have many analytical reviews for our finalization and everything. So this corona actually made us to work remotely, but is actually able to do our works much more fastly using this remote working and all. So we need to actually have to have that this ability to actually change which have been happening to these years. So then only we are able to cope up with the flow which is having right now. So in this session, actually, I'm going to cover how this Excel is working, and as our chairman told, how to sample using Excel, like what we institute had set out in this standards on auditing 530, and how to prepare financial statements, and also if you're going to have a client which has been coming which we have been for long, we need to have we need to prepare financials which is actually it's the same tally backup or something. So this Excel will help to prepare a financial so instantly. And also, as he told that when we want to compare two items like a bank statement and the ledger in our books related to bank, then only we could able to see what all the entries which have been missed out and everything, which can be easily done using the Excel. And also there are so much of another functions like what if analysis, sum if analysis, pivot tables, etc. Actually, the list goes on, and I could able to cover everything in this session. Okay, so also finally, I'll be talking a little bit about audit documentation using this Excel. So you know, this Microsoft Office is a bundle software which has been prepared by developed by Microsoft, which is actually most important software which we need to have in our day-to-day audit life. So this Microsoft Office is actually a easy to use software which helps us to create so much of document. We could able to if you compare with our life which has been before 10 or 15 years back, you could able to identify difference which have been made by these Microsoft Office in our day-to-day life. Actually, and also this they have actually implemented Office 365, which actually integrate so much of integration between the online drive, which is OneDrive, and another this Words and all. So that there is so much of powerful tool which has been implemented in Office 365, which we couldn't able to explore till now. So out of this Microsoft Office, I'm just going to talk on the only softwares like MS Excel. So if you actually master in Excel, you could able to handle many data, many analytics, everything is easily done. And if you take about a small enterprises or a small CFO, the Excel is actually we use Excel so that this has a feature to automatically update a data which is there. Actually, I'll tell you how this Excel works in firstly. Actually, what will the Excel does is that there are so much of cells in an Excel. Like you can see in the top row there is A, B, C, D, and in the row there is 1, 2, 3. So each cell is given number A1, A3, B5 like this. So actually what they're doing is that each cell reference is giving a data in an Excel sheet. The basics of the Excel has been discussed in the earlier session, but I'm telling this to say that this is actually how it works. Because if we put a link to you people know how to put a link, right? Equal to, and when you press another cell, it will put a link on that. So if we put a link on that, it's actually referring to that cell. So what all data which is there will be shown or should be taken to this cell. If you put in the calculation, they will take the data from that cell to this cell. So the major reason why we chartered accountants or financial analysts use this Excel is that it's actually automatically update the data which is given to a reference to a cell. So, and also it aids in budgeting. It's also aids in our auditing with using where the various sampling techniques, various analytic techniques, and also it's able to give so much of complex calculation which we couldn't be able to do manually, and able to handle many data, sort many data, and also it's actually you could able to use some basic financial accounting functions also. So these Excel need to be known for every people from the clerk to this CEO, because even the CEO need to have to verify some calculations, to have a ratio analysis, everything. So let's start with the sampling. Okay. I'll take an example with the actual problem is that my OS has been updated to Windows 11 automatically today. It's got so buggy. So we are going to take a with respect to sampling, there is 3 steps. One which relating to exporting a data from a books to an Excel. A data means a raw data which is from Excel. We can take an example of a common software, which accounting software which we use, Tally. So we'll take there is 2 methods to do that. 1 minute. Okay. Either we could able to take a columnar format from this Excel. People know how to take this columnar, right? A small bonus tip is that in the Windows, everything which is having an underline on that, if you put Alt and press that key, that item will be automatically selected using the keyboard. So there is this columnar. What is that? Alt F8 has having underline in below. So if you press Alt and F8, automatically that thing will be selected. So what we have to do is, when we have to take, if we're going to take a samples on a sales, this I'm going to export and ledger from the Tally. So we will take all columnar from here, and we will take what all narration, everything. Actually, I have exported this data. After this will be automatically exported to that, right? So this is the exported data. Okay. See, this is the exported data. This is running to 816 items. Okay. So what we there are, as per SA 530 and other theories, there are so much of sampling techniques, right? So but what we follow in our firm is that we will actually follow three steps of sampling. One is that firstly we will stratify this sampling based on this amount. Stratify in the sense we will classify this sample into about 10 lakh, 10 lakh to 5 lakh, below 5 lakh. Okay. Then what we do is that we will take what all thing above this major 10 lakh 100%. Then the second item what we'll do is that we will take nth item, either fifth item or 10th item. Then regarding the third item, what we does is that we will take random sampling on that, so that every because what we does is we form an opinion based on the population, which we could be able to do 100% due to our time and cost constraint. So we will resort to sampling technique. So this sample should represent the entire population. So we will have to give every sample what the chance of getting selected. So I'll show you how to take this sample based on this combination of three. Okay, this is the raw data. What we does is that this in the columnar an entry will be processed like this. This is the total value of an entry. This is regarding the value which is posted into sales ledger, and this is regarding GST and other. Okay, so you people know how to select, do a filtering, right? You will select all the data. I have posted an Excel sheet with shortcuts in that, so you could able to use shortcuts also. I have posted in the chat also and also in the WhatsApp group. If you want to post it right now, I will do later, so that other people who has joined later can access that. So if you press Ctrl Shift L, or there is a filter option in data here, right? It here. Okay. So if you select that, you can able to filter in the sense you can select something which is about like that, or sort largest smallest. It's all possible using this filter function. Okay, many of the people have been knowing many things which have been said by me, but there are other people also which doesn't know that. So I am telling for that. Please do that. Okay, and also in this case, we need, what we have to do is sometimes this ledger may be having is it audible now? Audible, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay, fine. Oh, so what we have to do is that we need to select all the credit here. So there is one item which this must be a credit note. So we have to put it negative in that. Okay. Then change this to number format. You can select here, changes number format, alt HT. I have discussed basic in the first session regarding this alt shortcuts and everything. Okay. Then what we have to do is that we have to sort this from largest to smallest. The grand total will be there. So, and we need to review first up to which amount we would able to at least able to cover 30% of the item. So in this case, how we can see this, that there is a portion here which shows how much sum is there in the selected thing, right? So and also you need to as a 530 and everything, our standards on auditing as discussed before, we need to have a professional judgment on while selecting sample on the basis of internal control we have assessed, how the on the test of that control, how the systems are performing. In this case, if the client is having a proper control of billing or something, we don't need to have a more sampling on that. Or in this case where there is so much of flaws in control, or there is a highly risky area, we need to have a more coverage on sampling, right? So here I'll take 10,000, about 10,000 as a first portion of what I told is I'll firstly stratify this entire population into three categories, right? So I'll take this about 10 lakh as a first group. And another thing which we have usually done in our office is that what all thing which have what all the data which we have been exported will be put at the raw format only. We will put it as a dump here. Okay. Then I'm using some shortcuts, I think. So if you if you press here and if you click here, and it should have a create copy option. You have to work it on taking sample. Am I audible now? I think it's how disconnected, right? Audible, right?
Yes, Najib.
1 minute. I can hear you.
Battery fully charged.
Okay, so we have to work on the another copy of the dump. Only then we could able to have a proper documentation that this is a dump which have been taken from given by the client or something. So in this, what we'll do is that we will change this credit item to negative. Then we will sort the things up largest to smallest. In that, what we'll do is we will select the entire 10th of items which is below about 10 lakh to another sheet. Okay, then we will delete that one about 10 lakh. Okay, so then we were going to use the nth function, right? So above below 10 lakh but above 5 lakh, in this sort option we need to select number filter which is greater than 5 lakh. This will select all the items which is above 5 lakh. Here we will insert another column and we will put a mode formula here. What we are going to do is that from 5 lakh to 10 lakh, we will select the 10th item, mode, row, then we'll select first column here, then every 10th item. Okay, then we need to select the 0, 0 here. This will select every 10th item in the series of items just given over there. Okay, then we selected that every 10th item. We'll change the sheet name as sample. We'll paste it over here. Okay, then we will delete this one. I'm going to introduce another function called random. See what we done, like how the computer works, that we are going to give some program based on this, some logic they are going to perform, right? But in case of a random sample, random equation equal to RAN equation, the computer doesn't do any logic in that. They randomly give a number to. Every time when you press enter, this number keeps changing. Okay. This number keeps changing. There is no logic in this giving this number. So what we have to do is that we need to copy this equal to rand bracket open bracket close equation to this. This thing keeps on changing. Okay. Need to delete the above stratified thing equal to rand. Since this number keeps on changing, we need to copy this values in a now this is actually now in a formula way. Then we need to paste these values to a this item to values. So we will select this one. All selecting shortcuts and everything has been discussed in our basic sessions before. You could able to refer that video, or you could able to see that Excel sheet which you have been shared. Then we need to use paste special. Either you can use this right click paste special here, or else you Control Alt V will take you to the space special area. This will able to help to copy this space special values only. Now the formula changed to this value. Okay. Now what we will do is that we will sort this largest smallest. Then out of this we will take 10 items. So there is no intervention. The logic behind the random sampling is that we may be sometimes have a tendency to select something which may be biased. So this random sampling is there is in this case there is no logic behind a computer to take the sample. So here the 10 items will be selected below the line of 1 lakh, so that there is no unbiased. So every population is given equal chances of being selected. Okay, so we'll take this sample and we will post this one. So this is how we actually does in our form to select the sample. So everything is been selected. I think I should pause in between to ask him question, because if I keep on saying this, nobody will be able to have questions, right? So anybody having question on this sampling? I hope that's a no. Okay. So actually what I does is 3 types of sampling, a combination of 3 types of sampling. First, what I does is that I have been categorized the entire population in base of some values, and out of this, the major items which has been given taken 100% for verification, and the second group has been taken based on the nth value item. For that we have used this formula mod ROW, this formula, and after that taking out, then for the other case we have taken random sampling based on this equation. For the random sampling we need to paste the values from the equation, then sort the things out. Okay, for queries can be posted on the chat box. So I think I'll shift to another topic in this session: how to prepare financial statements using Excel, using some 3 functions. Linking function, we all know that when you put equal to refer something, that it automatically update. This is how we have to. What is the major reason why we choosing the Excel? Because once we need to update a sheet, we can't able to think the times when when the 10 or 15 years back, where the people used to check every enter link and everything when something got changed in a financial item. So it's actually so easy using this Excel, using this linking function. Linking in the sense, if we put equal to here and we put here, that what Excel does is it is going to refer J column with 41th row. This item is an address, and what all data which will here will be selected to this. We're going to put an equation into 2. The data into 2 will be done by the Excel. So actually a reference based function is what the Excel does. Okay, all referencing everything has been discussed earlier. I don't want to waste our time on that. So we'll move on to this, and also regarding this exporting of data, I would also like to say something that in the tally, if you go into what I've done is I've taken this sales ledger only, right? Sometimes we need to take entire items from this group. Okay, for that we could able to do this using these vouchers. In that, every ledger transaction in that group will be reflected over there. But the problem is that we couldn't able to check the entire compound entry in between, but we could able to have a basis for taking sample. Okay, if you take that one, this is the total item which within the group. If we having a large audit or something, we won't able to take sample individually from a ledger. In that case, we will take it from the group. In that case, we have to go to the vouchers also, and it will be exported like that, like this. Here the problem is that while exporting, we make sure you selected voucher narration in that. The problem is that while sorting this thing up, we might miss this narration which is coming in between. So I will tell you how to remove, how to solve that case. first and foremost thing to do while do an data analysis from the Excel is that always remove the merge from here. Okay, or else if we select something, it will automatically select the entire. See, when I select this row, entire merge item will be selected. So first you have to do is remove the merge first. Then what you have to do is put a column here. What I'm planning to do is that I need to take this item to here, right? So I need to put it like this, right? The format is like this. So I'll clear everything from here. You need to select something like this, right? Okay. So I'll put the equation like that. Then select this one. Put a paste value. Actually, before that, there is a formula here, right? So what I does in the earlier session also, like copy this one and put a space values to values. Now the thing won't change. Then using this filter option, select all blanks. From there, delete this one. Now every narration goes here, right? Now we could able to sort the things up. And what I discussed earlier, take the above 5 lakh everything from this. The problem is that we couldn't able to take a columnar from this group wise sample. You need to have take this ledger wise only from the group wise sample. Okay, let's move to the financial statement area. And also there is another option like I'll discuss that. So this is a financial statement. So what we does here is that there is a small task of this arranging the ledger. Tally is having a beautiful feature that it won't able to create a ledger with a duplicate name. Okay, for this financial statement preparation, you need to discuss on these two functions: VLOOKUP and SUMIF function. Okay, you people may be having may have heard a lot about VLOOKUP. Some people have been using this in the day-to-day life. So, but I need to give a brief introduction on VLOOKUP function and SUMIF function, how this thing works. Okay. I'll show you. Okay. See, firstly, we need to for the financial statement, we need to group all the ledgers to a group which need to be given in the financial. In a company financial, we have a share capital, resources surplus, term loan, everything. So we need to firstly classify entire ledgers in based on that. For that, we use this sheet. See, these are the ledger name which is given the tally. We shouldn't change the names. So these ledgers have been grouped under share capital, equity share group. Okay. So we need to firstly group this thing out. Okay. And what the VLOOKUP function does is that if if an item in a data set of data, here we have exported this tally. This is a trial balance. Okay, this is a trial balance exported from a tally. I'll show you how to export a trial balance like that. Usually, when we take export option from like this, they will show like the group wise, right? So in that case, we need to, after exporting, we need to delete entire bold items. There are many add-ins for removing that one, but if you guys don't have an add-in, what you have to do is that you need to take FI ledger wise. Then it shows only the ledgers as a trial balance in a tally. So we will get something like this one. Okay. So in this case, what the VLOOKUP function does is that if this set of data is having a ledger name equity share capital in that trial balance, they have to take the data from this data. For example, see, this equity share capital is there in this trial balance, right? it is here 822 row. If we're going to manually select this one, we need to see where is equity share. We need to go there and put a link over there, right? But in this case, what the VLOOKUP function does is that if any equity share VLOOKUP, what is the expansion of VLOOKUP is that vertical lookup. Vertical lookup in the sense, if there is an you need to select a data from left to you need to select the data which is referred to left item. For example, if there is a data relating to the equity share in that data, they need to fetch the data to here. Okay, so the equity share capital here is having a data. This is the equation equal to VLOOKUP. Check whether this data is there in the set of data. The problem with the VLOOKUP is that they have to set the data which need to be looked up. Looked up means reference item should be at the left corner of the data which is selected. For example, we can't able to select the item from here, or we couldn't able to put this row number after the value amount. We need to place the item which need to be referenced on the left side of the data. I think I'm going to confuse with telling so much of thing. So I'll go straight to the equation. Or the equation is that equal to VLOOKUP this data. Check whether this data is there in this set of data. Okay, so there is some data in the 832 row, right? So if there is then a name with that data in this set of data, take the first need to take debit item, right? Take the in the set of data second. See, in here there is row number here. Okay, 3 2 is there, right? So you need to remember that one. So from the reference, we need to select second item, right? So we need to give here after comma, we need to here second. Then 0 is for we need to exactly find what is the in that. There may be there may be approximate match. So that if it is equity share or some equity word in between, you go and fetch the data. It's what that formula says. So here there is no in the equity share there is no debit balance, right? So this is how the VLOOKUP does. You don't have to manually go and put a link here. They actually fetch the data which is there in the set of data. And also if people know what is there in the E for R, right? So E for R is that, I'll tell you something. Here there is equity share here, but if sometimes there is no equity share there, it will show this error equation. Okay, so but if we have error equation, our trial balance will not be tallied, because what we are discussing is that we have made a financials for a current year. We need to have a financials of the next year with the same set of tally ledgers, but sometime the ledgers won't have been repeated in the next year. So in that case, the ledger will won't be there in the trial balance. So there won't be a reference in the tally data. Okay, in that case, we need to, if there is no ledger on the reference, you have to show 0. For that, we are putting this if error equation. What the if error equation does is that if there is error in the formula, then we have to show 0 here, or else we can say yes or something here. Then it will show yes over here. There is no item referring to that. And then if there is error, I told him to say yes. Okay. So likewise, we can able to link the data to that. The only thing which is having a tedious is the first time we need to group the entire ledgers to grouping wise. So this is so powerful that if we need to prepare the financial statements of this year 2021, what I have to do only is that I need to update this tally data here, right? Reference, this TB reference to the latest trial balance reference. The entire financial statement will be easily prepared at a single or at a 2 minutes. Okay, the only work will be there is that we need to see whether the new ledger has been included here. For that, we can easily look. I'll tell you in the case. There is a new A, B, C, D, E, F, G ledger has come in between. Okay, first we need to check whether this entire ledgers has been given in the grouping. So I have put an equation equal to VLOOKUP. Check this item is there in this set of data. If you select here, entire column will be selected, and put one. Okay, one in the sense same item will be selected. So see, this ABCD ledger is not there in the grouping which we have been done in the earlier. So what we does is we'll see what is the nature of ABCD. Then we will put it in grouping. Say it is actually that creditor. Then we will group it under creditor here. Okay, now see this error has been gone. In that, if we update that, the client may be changing things or entering on the real-time basis. So we not able to break the finances every time. In that case, what we resort is that we will simply use this function so that finances statement can be easily made. I think for the VLOOKUP function, so many doubts have come in between. And should I pause in between, or should I continue?
Is there any question there?
Regarding the VLOOKUP function, because this VLOOKUP function is what actually is the behind the everything that a financial statement can be prepared within 2 minutes. And VLOOKUP is not only for this purpose, because many reviews, everything has been done using VLOOKUP function. The only there are two problems for this VLOOKUP function. Is that the first problem is that it can only check the reference based on the left item only. See this, we need to select the data from this. The reference is given the left item only. That's the problem of the VLOOKUP of the first case. And second case is that we need to check whether if the Adaya production is having two items here, say same as having 50,002, it will only fetch the first item only. So we need to check. You people know how to see the duplicate values, right? Select this one, conditional, go to highlight duplicate values. Okay, see, we need to see whether any duplicate values are there in this set of data. If
Najib, are you muted?
Najib, you are not audible.
Najib, can you hear me?
Am I audible now? Okay, thank you. you can see this screen, right? Hello. Sorry, I thought it was audible before. So where I have lost in between. Hello.
Yes.
Okay, I shall continue. So for this grouping, there is a one-time exercise to be done. If someone has been working in the company which need to be have a periodical financials, this is a beautiful function for them. Okay. Also, there is a if we do our audit, there may be having so much of audit entries that also can be automatically posted to the financial statements. I'll tell you how to do that. For the VLOOKUP function, there should be a unique item, right? But for the SUMIF function, all the items relating to a reference will be total and taken to here. I'll tell you an example. Okay. This is actually what we does is that we will have been posted everything which is there in the tally to here. Here we will there will be audit entry. Okay. This is the audit entry relating to the ledgers here. We will put entries in this sheet. Okay. Here I need to actually regarding this interim dividend entry. Okay. This SUMIF function automatically sum what all items which is relating to reference to this item and total and fetches to this here. How the SUMIF function works, I'll tell you how the SUMIF function works. Okay, we need to give equal to SUMIF. This is opposite to the VLOOKUP function. For the VLOOKUP function, we need to give the reference first. Okay, we need to check this in that item. Here we need to give the opposite wise. We need to give where the item to be checked, then this item to be checked over there. So equal to SUMIF. Check here whether this item is there. If the item is there, then sum the value which is there in the row relating to that. This is what the equation says. Okay. Yeah, it will automatically fetches what all item which is given over there. I'll tell you example. So we don't need to individually put the link in offer entry to our financials. This, if we put this audit entry like this, what need to be taken care is that if we putting audit entry, these need to be have a name which is given the tally or the trial balance. Okay, I am going to give another entry for 10 lakh. Okay, this is I have put a subtotal here so that if we don't give a positive and negative entry, this automatically shows. Right? Dividend minus 10 lakh. This thing tallies. Make sure this tally, right? Okay. Now automatically see this thing automatically total the entries which is given the audit entry sheet and fetch it over here. So it's actually automated everything. If you're working with small enterprises, the linking everything which actually able to does. See if these financials having see how much ledgers is there. I'll tell you. Almost 1,411 ledgers are there. We can't able to individually link everything to these ledgers. So in that case, we need to first, there is a one-time access that people might dump. We need to check whether that ledger is actually coming in this group. The only thing which the problem is only that. After that, easily the financial statement linking everything done in the 2 minutes. So that is how the SUMIF function does. Okay, for taking the data which is unique from a trial balance, use VLOOKUP function, and for summing up all the entries relating to the ledger, you have used SUMIF function. That is regarding the preparation of financials easily using this Excel. Is anybody having any doubt on that? Anybody? See, this everything goes directly linked. And another advantage of preparing this grouping sheet is that easily you can get a closing TB at a very moment. There is there is so much of problem after our audit. The books are not being closed. For them, they don't know what all the things which has been linked to this financials, what the entries which we have made. Some people might directly put the entries to there. Everything could be easily traced from this single sheet. They could be able to easily close using the single sheet if we going to follow this method of preparing financial statements. What all the entries will be given here only. The closing TB is readily available here. So these all will be easily done. If you're trying to do this one, you will see how much benefits it will does. For the small enterprise, I don't recommend this, but even if you can do that, that's wonderful. Okay. I'll shift on to this financial statement, the sampling thing again. So I'll change that again later. So using this VLOOKUP function again, as our chairman has told, we could able to easily identify what all the items which we missed out in a bank statement. So I tell you how it does. For that, we need to have an Acrobat or some PDF software which may be paid or we can use online tools also. For that, for converting a bank statement which is given in PDF to Excel. If they have given the bank statement in Excel format, that will be such wonderful. So here what I does is that I have changed the converted financial statements to an Excel format. Okay. So 1 minute. Then what I'm actually going to do is that I am going to see whether they have posted entire bank entries which is given in the bank statement into our ledger, or else somewhere they may be troubled on identifying what are the entries which they missed out and everything. So we can easily check that using the function which we had discussed before, VLOOKUP function. Okay, so this is the ledger taken, bank ledger taken from the tally. Okay, what I'm going to see is that whether entire entries which is given here for the July month. Okay, 1 minute. Filter, I have taken this July month only. Okay, take the data, put it over here. Okay, see whether entire entries has been came over here. There is if the company is going to account based on the particulars given here or check number here, it is so much of good. But if they don't give the thing over there, we need to have see the reference based on the amount which is given over there. Okay, so for that we need to first see whether there is any duplicate item given in this. For the VLOOKUP function, you know that duplicate items will not be popped up. It will pop up, only the first item will be popped up, but you can't able to get the actual result. So I put the duplicate and see whether any red color is for the giving conditional formatting. I have given, if there is any duplicate, give red fill with the dark text. Okay, so there is no duplicate values over here. There is no duplicate value over here also. Thank God. Okay, so there is no duplicate values over here. Okay, then see whether this item is there in the set of data. Debit, what is that? This is withdrawal, right? For the withdrawal, there should be credit in the ledger. Whether this amount is there in the credit side. withdrawal. Firstly, what we did, we select only deposit first. Okay. Remove all blanks here. Then see whether this amount is there in debits. Then select that item here. Then take it here. Okay. Post this entire formula. I have shown how to move in the all moving, linking, everything is being discussed in the earlier. If you press Control and move, press arrow key, the last item cell which is having data will be go over there. So I copied that item to the formula and paste it to the last cell. Okay. So I have seen everything which is there, whether that amount is there in the ledger. Okay. And likewise, select all blank values having blanks without blank, then put the equation. We look whether this amount is there in the credit. Okay. Then paste the entire thing. Okay. Then see. Then need to filter this thing out. What all there which is given has these, see these entries are not in the ledger. We can, if the data is so much which we need, the people could not able to trace everything individually to ledger, we can able to do within 2 minutes, right? See, these transactions are not posted in our ledger. It might be related to case where this is withdrawal, right? This is related to last year where the check has been already issued but has not been presented and came to this, but we could able to trace easily what are the item which is not there in the month, this thing, and we will be able to trace easily, right? So that is how we able to compare two set of data and identify based on some condition which we are giving here. Okay, anybody having doubt on this one?
How you are converting this PDF file to Excel?
That is using this Adobe actually. Adobe. I need to.
It's a paid one.
Paid only. But Sebin is having actually. Sebin has actually converted this one. You could use some online tools also. Also, this new 365 is having some feature of getting data directly from PDF, but sometimes it won't give a correct outcome. This character recognition something need to be readily embedded. So, but sometimes it actually gives correct result. There is an option from here, even for the.
But many times we are getting the bank statement in text file.
Yeah. Okay. So I will tell you how to convert that into this thing. See, this is a case where they give a bank statement in a text file, right? So take this one, take a new sheet. There is an option here in the data text columns. Okay. Sorry, I need to pause this one. I have taken this data in a text column. So, their software does is that CBS software is that they will have a set of data arranged in their database. They will put a line in between to classify each set of data, to separate each set of data. Okay, so for after this code there is a line, okay, in between to classify, to separate these all. Okay, so first need to copy this data to this first column, then select this entire. If you copy this one, automatically that item will be selected, or else if selected is entire A, then take this test column. Okay, so for entire data, what you're going to do is that we will going to paste the entire data to different cells, right? Okay, so we using this delimited function. In the delimited function, every data has been separated based on, see, if we selected this special character here, these entire data has been separated here. Okay, see, these now this text has been converted to Excel to individual columns. This text, see how it does. There is no doubt on this, right? what you have to do is that copy the entire data, paste it over here, text column. If there is any character in between to separate each and everything, we need to select delimited, choose the special character which have been used to separate this data, then select finish, and the data has been parsed to different columns. And also there may be some case where the software which has been used to generate report is putting data. You see, there is some set of spaces in between each set of data, right? So in that case, we can able to use another function fixed width, right? Paste the value here. What actually is that in a single cell, everything is given here like this only. Okay. Here we will select the A column. We select this text column, then fixed width. Then we have to put a line where this thing is need to be separated. Okay. When you press a single time, the line will be there. If you press two times, the line which is separated will be gone. From me, we need to select. Okay. See, after fixed width, the entire data has been posted to column. Okay, so that's how the text to be converted to Excel format. Clear, right? Hello.
Yes, Najib, it's clear.
Fine. Then our next thing is that pivot table function. Also, there are so much of add-in for you to have a better. If you're going to work on some much more abundant of data for the sampling, you could able to use many tools. For in our firm, we have purchased an ECAD Pro tool. What is actually done is that actually I disabled the add-in. Wait a minute. One of our client has been given us this set of data for us to take sample for physical verification. Okay, there is 22,000 line of item, and we need to we have only short amount of time, so we need to select only major items only. Okay, so in this case, we select as pharmacy item. And here they having a Pareto analysis tool. Many even the Pareto analysis is available in the Excel also. So for that they selected display item. What did I tell you what it does? Not value. Show only those item which is giving 70% of value. So if we take these all items at a sample, our entire 70% of value will be given. So that formula is there in the Excel itself. So, but with this add-ins and everything, we could be able to easily complete our audit. There is many such tools for our audit purpose here. So there are so much of add-in like that. Because what the functions is given is not the thing which is the thing. It's limited Excel. We have so much of virtual basics based things which be done. You know that ITR has been many formats are there in the Excel. So there are many coding behind to process which is not readily available to us. So many developers has been used that to create many other functions. And for curating many data, maybe having spaces in between other, that also you people could buy from different vendors. Our actually our IC has been giving this kind of tool for smaller prices. I've seen that in a mail. This kind of add-in tools for various data analytical tools, because the idea which is a data analytic tool actually being cost more than 1 lakh. There, the small, like the function which actually does is giving for so much small amount. So you should have, you should actually avail that benefit. 1 minute. Okay. So I'll discuss on a pivot table. Okay, how the pivot table does. See this. After after substantial verification, everything, our seniors or some chartered accountant need to be review the works which have been done. So the pivot table is a good, very good option to help to have a ledger review on a thing. See, this is a case where a ledger has been given, and we need to see which all the items, which all the parties is be giving, having so much of contribution to this ledger, or which who all have been given largest professional fees to, in respect of this client, right? So what the pivot table is that does is that it summarizes the entire set of data to some readily available format. So as I discussed earlier, you need to remove the merge first for every data analysis, or else if you select something, the other columns also pop up. So these are the data which I'm going to review. Here there is insert, here pivot table. Insert this is how the pivot table starts. For in that case, I need to take particulars. These need to be the row heading, the name of them, okay, and to take the give the summary of the values which is relating to them. See, in a matter of within 1 minute, I could able to get a entire summary of this entire ledger. This ledger is having 117 items. This comprises of these all items. These are the summary of the item. I'll give you another bonus tip also, that these, if you take this more sort option, because in the pivot table you can't able to filter this here, only filter is available here. For that we need to select more sort option. We need to sort based on this sum growth. Okay, this is the provision is the major one, and Venkatesan is the second major item, so that we could see what all we could see, ask him to give what all the item, what are the transaction with S Venkatesan, because the ledger may be having small many items with the S Venkatesan, but in total is given 5,75,000. Okay, so that easily we need to get a summary of data within a second, within few seconds. Okay, this is how pivot. Also we can able to see what all the this is columnar format. Okay, so there is, in respect to this, there may be TDS given, so we need to see whether what all the TDS amount which has been deducted here. Okay, 60,000. See whether this guy has not been deducted TDS, but he may be given in his, this is expense ledger. He may be deducted TDS in his vendor. We need to check that, but we can't get a data. We can't get the information that this thing has the TDS not given in the this entry. But we need to check. We have to check going on the later side. Also, that's how we could able to summarize the set of data using pivot table. Is there any doubt on this regarding pivot table? How the pivot table does? I'll show you once more. You need to select the entire set of data. The another pre-requirement of pivot table is that, and every column should be having heading. Some heading should be there. Only then they can give the summarized one, right? So these are the set of data. Then insert pivot table, selected here, and we need to summarize. We need what all the row labels should be selected and dragged and posted here. Okay, then relating to that, what all the item need to be total should be given here. Okay, this is the summary of thing. We can sort using this one. And also there is another option also to what we can see how much time this, how much entries is relating to this one. How to do is that here value field setting, we can see count. Okay, so for the cash payments has been done 24 times. JKM is given 17 times. So also we can take the average of average payments to him by getting total amount divided by number of count. So sorry, pivot table is, I mean, we can't able to copy paste and do that. For that, we need, what I have to do is that copy the value from here and paste special values. We can also copy formats, formulas, only everything from this paste special. This thing has been discussed earlier. Here we can, like a normal data, we can able to copy the formula. This is the average payment. Likewise, we can able to do many analytical review using this table, pivot table. Also another bonus tip also, under this Venkatesh Rao, we can see what all the narration given over there. Expense payable, these are the narration here. Okay. Under Keshananda, these are the narrations. What you have to do is that just drag and copy over here. Or if based on the narration, what are the ledgers? Professional beef, these are the cash ledger. Just need to be sort in between from here to here. Okay. Under this expense payable, these are the narration came over here. And we can, if we put all that, if we group collapse and I feel only the, sorry. Only this summary will be given. Okay. And if you okay, see, and also we have done, there may be a case where a client may be having so much of units and you need to consolidate everything and prepare consolidated financial statements. Okay, I'll show you an example which we've done. They are having many units. These are the individual item in their individual financial statements or a trial balance. We have been given the unit name unique. Okay, and this what they actually does is that they summarize or total everything which having unique name. So we have been given standard name for this one. Salary allowance are having different name in the individual all financial statements, right? Because the spelling may be different. They may be having salary and allowances, extra allowances, different things. So we was given standard name for entire thing. Okay, then using this pivot table, we selected entire data. See this having 593 line of items. 593 line of item need to be given to consolidation. We need to manually link everything. Instead, we have given standard name for this one. This is only one-time access also, like the which is giving the financial statements grouping. We have to give standard access for the first time. Later on, all the names will be given standard name here only. Only new item will be given standard names. Say select pivot table. Here standard name. Using this is a consolidated TB, 122 line of item, which is consolidated from a set of 500 items. Okay, this is how we can prepare a consolidated TB using pivot table. The entire data has been grouped together. I put a standard name, and using this pivot table within a fraction of within a seconds, we have made a consolidated TB. See, in this TB, using this TB, we could able to prepare financial statements, consolidated financial statements. That's how pivot table does. This actually summarizes what all data relating to a reference and give in a tabular format. Okay, and if function. Yeah, the function which have been discussed here as having there is no hard and fast rule that we need to apply this one, but we need to have knowledge on that function so that we may be applying on the different area. Okay, so these functions need to be easy to be known, okay, to be understood and learned. Sorry. So this is 1 minute. If function. If function is nothing but giving a logic. I'll tell you another example. examples. What you have done recently. See, this is a set of data which we have received, 66 MB of data. Actually, what we can't able to manually see or something without the help of an Excel. This thing is 66 MB of data is taking so much time to open. See how much of data will be there. But using this Excel or a if function, I have checked the entire thing which have been recently done. There is 2,69,300 number of rows of data. They have done a calculation on this one regarding when I need to see check whether actually this thing has been taken from a report from this software, but I need to see whether the calculation is correct, right? So I have used if function. If is nothing but giving some criteria for linking, or so we would usually put if equal to this one, right? But if we put if function, only if, for example, if the transaction is coming this year only, we need to take the calculation. Okay, for that I put an equation. If this is less than this one, our period start from greater. We need to take greater than, right? Our period start from 1/4/2020, right? So if the transaction is coming only in between our period, only then we need to see yes or no. The formula goes is like that. If the condition criteria has been satisfied, we have to give whether this item to be selected or see, this item is selected, or you have to show no. See, this data is coming before 1/4/2020. Hence, it has shown no item over there. If this date is coming after 1/4/2020, that amount has been shown. So if there is no hard and fast rule on using if, but this is nothing but giving so much of condition criteria for our equation. Here what I does is that I will show you another examples. These are some complicated equations. Oh, okay. Here, this also. I'll take depreciation. This is regarding the depreciation testing which I have done. Okay. Okay. Here I need to take check whether the number of days which they have taken is correct or not. Okay, the date capitalized is actually 2/10/2020 up to our date of opening date. We need to see how much days actually lapse. You can easily see whether this minus this, right? So it will show this number of days used 1 minute. Okay, this number of days 4138 is the number of days, but the problem is that this is only having 730 number of useful lives. Okay, so we need to restrict that equation to 730 only, right? So I put an equation here whether if this minus this is greater than this one, you need to show only that one only, because the useful life is restricted. Remaining useful life is restricted only up to the useful life defined earlier, right? So if it is not, then show number of balance. See, these all are elapsed one. Here this 180, even though the life is 182.5 days, the number of days has not been lapsed. So they have taken the second equation, taken 1796. Okay? So the if equation is not it's not a standard one, but it is giving actually a condition to the equation. If you're going to do complex calculation, everything, if equation will help. If there is so much of calculation, complex calculation, what you have to do is that list what all criterias which you need to have in some paper or somewhere, then prepare equation on that. Here there is, see this some there is some because there are many conditions because this is not the last sign of item, this is after coming this number of days, so we need all the conditions. Okay, what the idea or some data analysis tool is that does is that there is an option because it's having so much cost, but if you having so much of data like this, there is an option in the idea to give many criterias easily. So the idea will prepare some equation like this and they will easily test the data. But if you can able to do using Excel, but you need to always easily think what all the conditions should be there and prepare a equation based on this if. Okay, that's how if equation does. Any doubt on this one? If equation, if is nothing but if some condition is satisfied, then we need to do this, or else you need to do that. That's how the equation is formulated. These entire formulas which is given in the Excel is some classified based on some criteria like this, because there is always a logic behind that, right? Any doubt on this if equation? So regarding a bank which we recently done, we need to check whether entire accounts has been given or extra interest. For that, we need to see whether entire number of accounts has been included. Okay. For that, we have used COUNTIF. COUNTIF is nothing but as like 1 minute. If I'll tell you what the count first. This count. Okay. This is a set of data. Here there are I discussed the summary function earlier, right? Regarding the summarizing of audit entries. Here this is the audit fees come 2 times. Right? Audit fees come 2 times. So sum if we need to manually link these all. But if you put equation like this equal to sum with whether this set of data is having this item, see, then total these all and put it over here easily. This everything is given in a summarized manner. What the pivot table does the same thing, but the problem is that pivot table want direct, we can't able to link directly to pivot table. It give an output result only. But using this sum if, we can able to fetch the data to single cells and thereby work on that. What the COUNTIF does is that see whether if COUNTIF, if the set of data here is having this name, then count and sell to us. See, this printing and stationery is asking two number of counts. So in our case, we need to see whether this scheme has been given, this number of scheme as there in the total long term. That like that wise, we have done a reconciliation. Show you the reconciliation. This number of that like that. This number of, hence we can see whether all the like what there is no hard and fast rules for using the functions for this one. But if you have a knowledge on these all function, we can easily implement or something. That's how what COUNTIF function does. And also for if you are going to prepare an internal audit. Okay, internal audit, we can easily get a chart from here. This is set of the data, insert chart, chart. You can able to change the entire format from here. See, easily, we can able to easily present in a presentation. This is available in the Word and PowerPoint also. But if you have a set of data which is working with the Excel, you can directly get a chart from that also. This chart function is easily for to present before a board or somewhere. So this is how set of data to be is to be given a heading and to be easily grouped. Then insert chart from here. Different charts, different variety of charts are available here. We can change different entire format from here. Okay, so the chart function does very well, and also we need to sometimes we need to create so many equations in the Excel. So actually, what from the beginning is I told you now that using what we use Excel is for the easily linking between or automatic updating of data, right? So there may be a case where we need to select only maximum number for this one for an equation. For say example, if is given 20,000 audit fees, but for the calculation we need to take only in what limit is audit fees is to be limited to 50,000 only. In that case, there is the equation what maximum out of this maximum. Sorry, you can take minimum limit, right? Minimum MIN. Only out of this, only minimum item to be select for an calculation. The condition can be easily placed using maximum or minimum condition. Out of these two, which data to be fetched, only the minimum one, maximum or minimum. There is lots of data. This is I share an Excel sheet. Okay, that is a small set of which I've been shared earlier. This is how regarding how the movements sorry shortcuts and movements to be done. Should I share it again? Sorry, I shared PPT. Firstly, you try to familiar function, and the functions we have discussed over here also given over here. These are not advanced functions because the things are not limited to these functions. There is so much of another this matching, indexing, and also double criteria functions, everything, virtual basics. But these we need to have a idea on that because our way of doing is have been shifted, or lots of data is actually the key to our future. So analysis, everything to be done, you need to have a knowledge on the basic VLOOKUP and pivot and summary function. You need to have a basic knowledge on that. So that is given in this sheet. Okay, and if you go into in the Excel also, you can able to put a data validation option. Data validation option is like see, if you're going to view a checklist for a client, these are the documents required. Okay, on documents, documents. Okay, then here. Sorry, this thing is coming in between. Right, okay. Here we can give a list of item. Yes or no. Pending. There's many validation tricks out there, but one thing which we use is this is regarding the major some large clients where they used to have a checklist for that. Here they can select, they can type nothing other than here. This is there will be validation. Only the item which is given over here will be given there. They have given yes, pending. Like that, they can put a validation like this. Data validation, okay. And also, see time is 8:36. So then I'll talk on this something which could be able to implement in your office on for working from home. See, we are having using Office 365 here. So with Office 365, you could able to get one TB of data. Okay, for that. So our entire data has been uploaded to OneDrive. So every people who like manager will be having access, delete and everything access, but juniors will be given the link to share the upload the documents or download the documents, but they will be able to delete one. Here, this is a OneDrive application which we use to readily sync everything. This is a OneDrive. Actually, these all items are uploaded in our drive, but we can easily access this easily. So if our laptop has been gone or the data has been removed, that thing will be kept over there. And also in this, can you see our screen? See the another people can't access from here and easily able to work online. The data has been uploaded this online also. Because Microsoft 365 is going to plan have a seamless sync between everything. Is OneDrive you can easily work from here only. And also if somebody updated this sheet, this is a checklist given to them.
Najib, screen sharing is missing.
Okay, it's missing. 1 minute. Sure.
Yes.
Okay, right. So this is a OneDrive can be easily accessed from browser. So we have uploaded major items here. There is 2-3 accounts. The item which is running over currently, which have been uploaded to one account. The other computer accounts have been uploaded to another account. So this thing from here, it's easily like Google Sheet, but you having a limited number of storage, right? But if you subscribe for one 365, you can able to get 1 TB of data. So these sheet can be easily shared to your people. You can have a checklist to them. They can easily update it. If they updated, this will be given over here. And you can easily also you can edit from online also. And also if there may be a case where you need to have lots of resources to do something on Excel, like if they're having lacks of data which need to be remove the merge or to sort something. So in that case, the OneDrive, the Microsoft having a lot of resources with them. Using this one, you can able to easily do function online, because actually the function will be done on their server. And easily maybe our computer might take lots of 30 or 40 minutes, but within 2 minutes that work will be done online. And also see in the Excel itself, and now 1 minute. In the Excel itself, you can take open, you can directly take the item from this OneDrive, right? So that thing will surely help you to have a remote working, because this data you can't able to resort on something which need to be like keeping on the data on the hard drive or something, because that data we share among our juniors or something working from home or something. So you need to use this kind of facility. And also there is another facility like what they'll be using for the document management, which we had discussed earlier, on Papillon software that can be used. For managing our tasks, managing our people, what they does. See, this is the likewise software is, as I told earlier, this type of software is being offered by our institute with a lower cost. This is another software called Papilio, which can be, this is a documentation and our audit control software. Here the task will be given. The people has to see and whether this thing has been completed. And from OneDrive, they can also link to here. The data can be linked to here. So it's like a audit program and also a data management tool. The seniors can review what all the works they are doing, what all how much time they are taken using this management software, because we can't able to survive in this world without these kind of things. There is a, sir, should I take some other talk? Because
no problem. You can go up to 8 o'clock. Sorry, up to 9 o'clock. Now it's 8:40. Up to 9 o'clock.
Other things to discuss here, or any other some topics from the viewers here? Or should I repeat something pivot table, or we look up or some way, or how sampling is does? Because actually these are the topics which is given, or I should go to the things which we discussed earlier. Isn't it something? Is something anything in the chat box, sir?
No, Najib, there is nothing there in the chat box.
Then I'll discuss some tips which I given earlier. Okay, for the summing something, take a data here. Data validation. Data validation, there is so much of functions there, but what we actually does is that data validation is nothing like if you're going to put some data in between, that is they you given X criteria that this much only data should be given. For example, if a PAN is to be given, the PAN should be having 5 digits, this thing, and like that some criteria we can able to put it over there. So, but if you're going to give a checklist to some client regarding giving something, they may be given some typing something, they may be they not be selecting something. Okay, for that we will giving a set of data, set of answer they need to be given, yes or no, pending or something. So that's why what I given documentation. These are documents need to be given. Okay, law documents, etc., etc. Okay, here these are the answers they need to be given. Yes, provided, pending, don't have. Okay, here data. Here we allow. So these are the different types of validations. Give only whole numbers can be entered over there, date can be entered over there, like that. Here we'll take the list. From this, these are the data only should be given in that validation. Okay. Here they can either enter only. See, if we typed another thing, the data validation won't allow them to do that, or else he can take from the provided, pending, like this. Pending, don't have, like this. This is how the data validation does. And also this is not restricted to this one. There are many conditions can be given, but for our case, this may be a practical case. I think it's clear. And many people know like some how to, you will put some equation like this, right? But if you press Alt equal to, is actually take a formula instantly. Alt equal to, see, Alt equal to. Should discussed earlier, and using this control, you need to work on this control, because you need to fastly move between data. You can't move like this every time. you either use page up function or use control to move in between. After this data, this go to next data is having data, cell having data. Okay, this is how movement functions. And switching in between, you can see that I'm not going here and click over here. You can use control page up, page down. Okay, easily control page up, page down. Then you can switch in between using the keyboards. And select entire row using shift space, entire column using control space. See, I have spaces merge over here. That's why it's not doing that. We need to while doing analytics, you have to remove the merge, every merge. And another thing should be discussed. In this work, many people are having trouble on sorting the things, right? Should we share this? All right. The major tip is that okay, you should always have this ruler open for some chat box is something. Okay. In the view, you should sorry. Okay, you should always enable this ruler in this word, because many people finding trouble for the formatting, because see this thing able to easily move thing ruler. This help us to move everything in between, and also this page control everything. And so this is a major basics thing needs to be done in a word to enable this ruler and moving the things using this one. And also if sometimes we, in case of table which we have inserted, some people are having trouble finding moving everything. If we use this one, easily we can able to move the table. We can able to change the column size, everything using this ruler. So that is a basic that's a basic thing which should be enabled in a word. Seems like we need to share this thing, because many people find trouble in formatting word. And also in this PowerPoint, another easy thing to be done is like we may be having putting so much of data here. Since I'm working this one. Okay, these are the set of data I have here. Okay, so we need to put something into these boxes like this. Okay, there is a powerful function like smart art. Convert to smart art. This readily meaning you can get easily many different kind of tables, everything arrangement, PowerPoint things can be easily available in ready made. This is, first of all, it will give us something like this, the data. This is having data. Convert to small font. Easily you can able to put in a different graphs and everything. And after it is done, you can edit from this one. But for a basis, you can easily get a readily available format. And the new office is having a design ideas and everything. So they easily give you so much of ideas for your PowerPoint presentation. Research, shall I wind up?
Okay, Raju.
Okay, that's it for the day. Is somebody having a question on this thing which I discussed here? questions? And for having a slideshow directly from this slide, you can press Shift and F5. Because when you press F5, you directly go to the first slide. So if you having a slide, Shift and F5 will directly go to that. And also, if you're going to present on something in a presentation, like if you're going to connect something, some TV to here, you will get a slideshow presentative view like that. Here we can able to see what is the next slide. We can able to note items here. What are the things which need to be talked over there and everything. That's easily available in the office itself. That's it for the day.
So thank you, Najib. It was a very excellent presentation. And no words are enough to explain your command over Excel. And to my dear students, you could see the speed at which Najib sir is doing the workings. And believe me, it is all possible for you also. The only thing required is to practice it. Najib, you did a very wonderful job. I am sure that using these Excel tools, it will definitely reduce the time required for an audit. And it will certainly help us to prepare an error-free financial statements. Dear Najib, once again, I thank you for the wonderful presentation. And I think there is no more questions or doubts in the chat box. We can conclude the day. Please, members and students, remember tomorrow we are celebrating the CA Day. And please join us in time. We will start at the sharp 11 o'clock. Please join in time, well in time. And wish you all a very happy CA Day. And now I request the Secretary C.S. Shivaprasad sir to kindly propose the vote of thanks.
Presiding Officer, Chairman of Kannur Branch, Chartered Accountant P.J. Reggie, auspicious learned speaker and brilliant Chartered Accountant Mohammed Najib, my dear colleagues in the profession. About 8 months ago, exactly 2020 October 28, we have seen the excellent performance of CA Mohammed Najib. Now once again, he came with the Excel tool, not with the same, but little advanced. We can rightly say it is the second part. He has got the power of Excel for excellence. CA Mohammed Najib made us proud, made Kannur branch proud. Many of us may not be knowing the benefits we can have with the program Excel. He made it very clear that we can use this tool wisely in our day-to-day work of auditing. Our request is that when the pandemic situation, the challenging situation changes, a one-day workshop, that to be physical workshop or seminar, is required from CA Mohammed Najib. Hopefully, we expect from him.
I'm happy to do that.
We express our gratitude and appreciation to CA Mohammed Najib for his good efforts and for the presentation he made. Thank you, Najib, and let many more excellent presentations come from you. Thank you. I express our sincere thanks to the chairman of Kannur branch, CA P.J. Reggie, for presiding over the seminar, for finding out the right persons for the right topic, for the motivation and for leading our branch to excel. We are very much thankful to all the participants, members, for your support, motivation, and for your gracious presence in the seminar. Thank you. See you all tomorrow morning for the Chartered Accounts Day celebrations. Take care and be safe. Good night.